Hi, welcome to the Jordan Downs is depressed and has to talk to his friend Katy for therapy hour, also known as the Weird Flex.
But okay podcast, hey guys, welcome. But don't worry, we're gonna have a really fun episode today. It is the Weird Flex But Okay podcast. It is the comedy, weeps, workouts, and advice podcast where we answer your questions. If you would like to submit a question, you can email us at weirdflexbutokaypodcast@gmail.com. You can listen to us on iTunes, Soundcloud, and YouTube. Our YouTube channel is a lot of fun and stuff. And the music you hear in every episode was made by What's My Name on Instagram and SoundCloud. We did it! And we're gonna make it through the wilderness.
Yes. Gonna make it through, like Fiona and Shrek.
Make it through. Yeah, I can never hear songs from the Shrek soundtrack without immediately thinking Shrek. Like, they did a really good job putting that into our brains.
Yeah, the ending song thing. Was that even in the movie, or was that like a bonus disc?
Oh wait, the one where after the wedding, like,
yeah, they all start singing like "I like big butts and I cannot lie."
Yes!
Or like the wolf is like, "Who let the dogs out?" Was like that in the movie, or was that like a special DVD? Because I can't remember.
I think it was an after credits thing. I actually never saw Shrek in theaters. I only saw it like played on repeat in like school.
Oh, okay.
And then like online and stuff, or like on a movie night. I never got to experience. Well, there might be like one of the latest Shrek movies, which would still be pretty old for me, but I might have seen that one in theaters.
Did you see Shrek 2 in theaters?
Oh, it might have been the third one. I can't remember.
The third one was awful.
Yeah, it really was. That was the one with all the babies, right?
Yeah, that one, well, I think that was the one where they were pregnant, and then they had the babies, but it was like King Arthur, and it was just a bad movie. Shrek the Third was awful. Yeah,
because I remember it being bad, but I can't. It's not very memorable other than the fact that it was bad.
Yeah, wait, Shrek 1 and 2 are classics.
Was Shrek 2 the one where he turned into a human?
Yeah.
That was one of my... I think that one was almost better than the first one.
It is better than the first one. That's the thing. Yeah. Like, people don't realize that Shrek 2 is better than Shrek 1 by a large margin.
Like, you know that meme going around, like, unpopular opinion, Shrek Edition would be a good one.
Well, I think most people, if you think about it, because, like, the first Shrek movie... When you go back to it, it's a good movie. It's a decent movie, but it's not like a great film. Shrek 2 is a great film. Like, the comedy's great, the action's great, the like story of what's going on is great. Like, it's just a really, really good film. Like, that's a true statement right there. Like, Shrek 2, highly recommend it to anyone of any age. I mean, the only thing that's dated on it is the animation, but it came out in 2004.
I think they're both really good, like, standalone almost. Well, I mean, the first one would be a good standalone, but like the second one, even if there was just like a minute of like, here's what happened, it's just a great movie. And that has like the fairy godmother in it too, right?
Yeah, the fairy godmother.
Oh, and her song.
Yeah, like, I gotta be strong, gotta be fast, gotta be larger than life.
That
was
such
a great
good
one.
movie.
And then that was the first movie Puss in Boots got involved in.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my gosh. And Puss in Boots had like his own spin-off, right?
Yeah, it was literally called Puss in Boots, and he fought Humpty Dumpty in it.
Yeah, dude. They did some wild stuff with that.
And they're remaking Puss in Boots now.
Oh wow, interesting. I didn't actually know that.
Yeah, they're remaking Shrek too. I forget who's doing it, but they're like it's gonna be by the people who did Illumination. Yeah, Illumination, they're doing it.
Yeah.
Yeah, so they're like, it's gonna look like some Doctor Who BS Lorax crap with that. Oh, bad can I be that the one silly shit that everyone was in love with, which I don't understand.
Yeah.
But kids.
Oh yeah, the Lorax. I liked the Lorax, but yeah, the Onceler obsession was interesting. I get it. He was like a tall, skinny white guy, I guess. That's all it takes.
And he sang a song.
And he did dress very sharply. So maybe they just need a sharp, tall, dressed man animated, and that's how you get the panties off.
Okay.
That's how it works. They should make a boy band of all of the animated characters that are just tall, skinny white guys that everyone had an obsession over, and just make millions.
Oh wow. Okay, so I should just trade some muscle for height then. All right, so anyone out there, if I can trade like some muscles for a height, that'll be cool.
Yes, if you were just like Wilt, like Wilt from Foster's. Who's his voice again?
Phil Lamar.
Phil Lamar, yes.
Yeah,
he came to Comic-Con one year. Yeah, dude, every performance he's ever done has just been so unique.
Yeah, and like, Samurai Jack too. Like, he doesn't have to do much for that role, but he does it so well.
Yeah. Oh man, now I want to go see if Phil Lamar's done any audiobooks or something, because I love hearing voice actors just narrate things.
Well, I love that Phil Lamar was an actor first and then transitioned to voice acting, like Mark Hamill. Like, he was actually an actor. Like, That's cool.
It's interesting because like the journey into voice acting has seemed to be like everybody had a weird start. Nobody ever started with, I want to be a voice actor. Although nowadays that's changed because it's like more known that that's a profession versus back in the day it was kind of a mystery enigma situation of work where like they would just get the first ADR guy in there that could do a deep voice and they'd be like, hey, can you be this monster? And nowadays there's like a very saturated market. Yeah. But otherwise,
no, sorry. No, I'm sorry, but you know what, like, is, like, sort of sad. It's, like, cool, but sort of sad. Like, for instance, one of my favorite voice actors is Peter Cullen. He voiced Optimus Prime. And, like, he used to, back in the early 2000s, not only do Optimus Prime, but he did, like, those old Toonami promos. And he would just add so much emotion to them. Like, this comes calling. And just, like, it's so awesome. But now he's, like, super, super rich from all the Transformers movies he's done. Oh, yeah. So it's, like, why would you go back to doing, like, just mainstream TV work? And it's just like, oh, man, I miss when he would do that. And they could afford him. But, yeah.
Yeah. But otherwise, how's your week or your day or how are you?
I'm all right. You know, I got
like any good stuff.
Oh yeah, I got into a fight and I won in sparring.
Oh my god!
It wasn't bad. It was like a sparring match, and I was like, okay, I haven't sparred in a while, and I wanted to test my ability, and I was like going at it, and the dude caught me in the ribs, and I was like, ah! And then I was like, all right, well, let me see if I can bring back my old Jaxblade, and then I caught him with a straight right, and I caught him up and an uppercut.
So wait,
and it was just
what
like,
was the context? Were you guys just
sparring?
Like... Okay, so
like
fun
sparring. It wasn't like I was mad at him or anything like that. He was
yeah,
just
like he just runs into you and you're just like, hey, and he's like, hey.
Hey. It was just like at the gym, and it was just like, oh, you want to go a few rounds? And I was like, dude, I'm kind of broken right now. He's like, dude, we can do light. And then like he got too into it, and then I got too into it, and then it was fun. And that's what happened. Boys will be boys, people. And yeah, that was fun.
That's one way to put it.
It was fun. Like, it's funny. Like, we became super close. After, like, dude, you got a hell of a straight right. Hey, thanks, bro. You got a hell of a uppercut.
That's a really fun. That's a really fun thing, though. That's a really cool culture of like gyms and fighting and stuff. Just like when you mutually go to each other and you consent to like, hey, would you like to do this physical activity with me? And that can be really fun. Because I've like been, I'm not like a fighter by any means, but I've done like. Totally. With my words.
She beat
but I've done,
me up at her house
I did. Every day he was there. He wouldn't know it though. He was asleep and I would just kick his face.
She would just come
and
she would like freaking just sit on top of me and then just like hit me in the face when I was asleep, and my face would be like, what the hell happened? And she'd just be like,
No, I didn't sit on you. I stood. I kicked your face because I didn't want there to be any handprints. So I was like, so that way you have to wear sunglasses. Feet then. Good for the No, I put on my high heels. So this is a fun way to to spin this around. But yes, I did some fight training before. Like there was a film thing that I was gonna do, and so we had like a day where we were just like pretend sparring, and like I got like some choreographed moves and stuff. We never ended up using them, so I was sad because I got good at like this 20-second little routine, which isn't much, but like it felt like a lot.
If you do it every day, you can turn to Rock Lee.
It's true. I was actually watching some stuff about oh my god, I learned some interesting history recently about Bruce Lee, about a show he used to be called, or he used
to be in. The Green Hornet?
Yes, he was a sidekick in the Green Hornet, but
called Katy.
He was so fast that they had to
slow it down.
Yeah, they had to re-record. They didn't just slow down his original movements. They couldn't even get those. He had to re-record and do his fight moves slower, and then they slowed those down. It wasn't even the original takes. And apparently in, I believe, Japan, when the show was airing there, people were so like enthused and in love with Kaito that they were like, why is he not the main character? And they called it the Kaito Show.
Yeah, exactly. Like I have so much knowledge on Bruce Lee because he's one of my idols, like an inspiration.
Yeah,
I have so many posters of him in the room.
It was just so random that I was watching a bunch of just like random rabbit hole videos about like stuff, and that was one of them that I watched that I was like, this is really cool.
Yeah, and he's a beast.
And yeah, super quick, super fast. Like no one could keep up with him.
It was so awesome. Yeah, that's why Bruce Lee's the GOAT. But how about you? How was Sesame Street? How was Kermit doing? Did you feed Cookie Monster?
I didn't. Oh wait, yeah, I did see Cookie Monster too, but I don't think
he talk to you.
He did not. There was no talking animatronic, sadly, which would have been great.
What do you mean animatronics? He's a monster.
You right. Oh my god, I would love to go to a haunted house Sesame Street edition.
That would be dangerous.
Yeah, it probably would.
People's hands.
Yeah, but essentially over the weekend, guys, I went to the Atlanta Center for Puppetry Arts and saw the Jim Henson exhibit and all of the puppetry exhibits, and with Zach, and it was really great. We just had like a little weekend in Atlanta, and I went to Sesame Street and I saw puppet things. I saw like stuff from Labyrinth to the Dark Crystal, which I haven't seen the Dark Crystal yet. So me and Zach are gonna watch that.
I thought you said that was one of your favorite movies.
No, Labyrinth.
Oh yeah, I always mix those two up. Labyrinth.
Yeah.
And Dark
I believe
Crystal.
the Dark Crystal came first, and then Labyrinth. But and I actually learned some history about the Dark Crystal too. Like I like learning all of these cool history tidbits, like how the Dark Crystal was funded because Jim Henson was doing well with like the Muppet Show and stuff, and they got an endorser, or what's the word, a donator, or sponsor, whatever the word is, to give them the money for this film because Jim Henson wanted to create this weird new thing, but he only got the money if he also made. There was some other Muppet thing that they wanted to be made.
Was it Legend?
I don't know if it was. I can't remember what the other thing was, but apparently the endorsers or whatever people were like, listen, we want you to make this project, but if you make that project, we will also give you like 13 million or 14 million for this thing. And so he was like, deal. And this was one of the first. The Dark Crystal was one of the first things that Jim Henson made that the characters and the art and stuff were made first. And then like the story he wrote in like an airport when he was snowed in one day, because he knew he wanted it to be like a weird fantasy world, and he found an artist that I can't remember the name of that had this amazing style, and he was inspired by it, and he was like, do you want to be on a thing with me? There's no story yet, but I want to make a thing with your art. And the guy was like, yes.
Nice.
So yeah, that's some of the history there. But yeah,
did you see the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle thing since Jim Henson helped with that?
Oh no, they didn't have anything on that there.
Oh damn, the first movie he like helped a lot with that. Oh god.
Oh, that's really cool. I'm actually kind of
cool.
shocked that wasn't there.
Yeah, it is weird.
And,
that explains a lot because you remind me of the Babe.
What Babe?
Babe. What Babe? Babe
no,
with
you're
the
supposed
power.
to say the
I know,
name
Babe
with
with the power. I know.
What power?
I like that scene always makes me laugh. Because
That's,
of the freaking Naruto bridge thing is like Naruto. You remind me of the Babe.
Yes!
What Babe?
What
Babe
Babe?
with the power. What Babe?
What Babe? I love that. I love that part. And then the David Bowie Kakashi song.
Yeah. David Bowie, Sama, Sensei, Sama,
Senpai,
Sensei.
That was such a, like, those videos, I would watch them on repeat.
The Babe. What Babe?
What Babe?
About Babe.
What Babe?
That's what I always do now. I ruin people's flow. Like, we remind me of the Babe.
So
What
great.
Babe?
What Babe?
What
Oh,
Babe?
God. But yeah, that was my weekend, and it was really fun, and we ate some conveyor belt sushi and stuff. But another thing that happened, I had mentioned before on here that Wendys reached out to me. Well, they sent me stuff, but I'm really confused because when I was looking at the DMs where I sent them my address and stuff, they hadn't even marked me read. Like, they didn't. It just said sent. It didn't say that they read them.
Well, you don't need to send, like, that's the thing. Like, if you send a DM on Twitter, like for example, because I do this all the time. Sometimes if someone sends me a message, like, you can see the first two lines of what they said. Like, if you, like, open up the app or just go in there, you can see, like, oh, my address is blah, 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 blah. And if it's on two lines,
because I didn't
they
send
don't have
me,
to click on it.
Because the first message I sent was just like, oh, hi, thank you so much. And then I sent my address. So
well, yeah,
maybe
because the second message will be the one that shows up first.
Oh, okay. Maybe these are just cool things I didn't know. Because, yeah, they didn't even read it. To me, it seemed. So I was like, how did I get this letter? They hadn't even read it or sent me whatever. But, yeah, they sent me a little letter that I took a picture of and put on Twitter. And it was essentially, like, promoting their app or something. But they were saying, like, hey, thanks for being cool, and we want to give you $25. And they gave me a card. And they were like, we love you. And I was like, oh, that's really nice. So I have 25 Wendy dollars so I can get a bunch of Frosties or 4 for 4s or whatever.
Yeah,
oh my God.
Get 5 4 for 4s.
Yes. So, like, I'm going to be eating like a queen for the next few weeks, probably. Like, I'll probably save them for the weekend so I can just have like a little weekend Wendy's.
Just eat them all at once.
All at once. I'll do a mukbang of, oh my God.
Yeah, there you go. Just film it for your YouTube channel.
I should do that. Oh
yeah, just do it. Like, there you go. Just do it by yourself. Like, you know what you should do? Just do like what I did. Like, hey guys, I'm doing a Q&A, a mukbang Q&A. So just submit questions, and then you just eat your four by fours, and then just, you know,
oh my God,
talk to the camera while you're eating it, and then we can see like if you actually finish it all.
I don't know if I would spend it all for that, because I want to also just have some whenever I'm out, but I could get like 2 4-for-4s and maybe do that. I don't know. Maybe. We will see. It could be funny. Right. Like, oh my God, I wonder if there's Wendys fan fiction. That would actually be interesting to look into.
Right.
Oh God, I have so many ideas. But speaking of ideas, I think it would be a good one to get to our first question.
Okay, sure.
Dude,
our first
I did the segue.
question? Yeah, you did.
I got it.
Okay, this is gonna be a spill the tea type question. That's what I'm calling this segment, spill the tea, because there's drama.
Welcome to Spill the Tea.
Spill the tea. Yeah. No, you gotta do those. Yeah. Okay, we got it. Yeah, perfect. You got it.
Perfect.
All right.
We did it.
This comes from Thought Pioneer. Thought is THOT.
Thought Pioneer.
Yeah,
I love it.
so good on him. And this is Bro Code Ask. If you like someone who broke up with your friend and they like you back, should you talk to your friend first or just go for it since they aren't together anymore? Bonus. If you and a friend both like someone, but she only likes you back, do you sacrifice your friendship or your heart? Now,
there are a lot of you go first.
Well, I wanted to just say this first. There's definitely this is something I've had experience with for like the last 15 years, and I can tell you this much. Male perspectives and female perspectives can be vastly different from the people I've talked to on this. So like, I have my opinion. Katy probably will have her opinion. So like, this might be the first time we have different opinions on something besides other stuff.
Maybe.
But yes. But yeah. I guess since I'm the bro of this equation, I will answer it.
And I'm the broette.
Yeah, dudette, broette. Yeah, dude.
Hey.
That's what I used to call Jesse when he still identified as a woman, dude. Yeah. That's perfect. All right. So you say the first thing is you like someone who broke up with your friend. They like you back. Should you talk to your friend first? Yes, because in my opinion, I say this to you, my friend. Put yourself in that situation. Let's say hypothetically, you really liked a girl. She broke up with you. It left you like heartbroken and really sad, and you're just like, oh God. And you go and tell your bros and your friends about that, and you're like, oh God, I'm so heartbroken. I just don't know what to do. And they're like there for you. And then like, you know, a few months later, they've been consoling you, but now your boy's talking to this girl who hurt you. Like you're gonna, whether or not you want to, like people will always say like, dude, get over it. But like, that's not necessarily bad. That's just gonna spur a fight. Like, I'm just gonna be real with you. If like you do that, like say like, dude, just get over it. That's not the right way to start this topic off.
That's
you, like,
some shit.
What you do, because like your emotions, there are certain emotions you just cannot control. You can control how you react to them, but you can't control how like it makes you feel. Like you will probably feel hurt and damaged if that happened to you. That like, my friend who I was consoling in about this person who broke my heart is now going after. I'm fucking pissed. I'm angry. I'm salty. I'm jealous. And you might not bring it up because you think like, oh, I'm being petty. She's not with me anymore. But you still feel that way. So yes, you definitely should talk to them first and just be like, look, dude, I don't know how to tell you this, but me and the girl have been talking. We have started to like film a bond with each other, and I think I'm starting to really like her, my dude. But I just wanted to tell you first because like, you know, it is and it's just like how you react to that is on you. Like if you want to go like and say, because to me, I honestly think you're justified either way in my opinion, because it's like, all right, this person is talking to someone who really hurt you and knows this person really hurt you and is still like talking to them even though they did that damage to you. Now you can take that however you will. It's like up to you to make your choice. Are you going to be upset or understanding? Because honestly, you are entitled to feel how you feel, whatever way. Like, and that's my opinion.
Yeah, I before we get to the second part of the question, I want to piggyback off of you, and say that I pretty much agree, but I might actually have like a bit of a more extreme stance on it and build on yours, in that if this person hurt your friend that much, and if this is like a close friend to you, then before you even start potentially talking to them that way, like if you and this other person that broke their heart were friends beforehand, so you guys are just, you know, keeping it mutual and you're like, look, I still want to be this person's friend, that's one thing. Like unless, they maybe cheated or did something extreme, that can create a different situation. But if it was just like, a mutual kind of like, look, we're probably not good for each other, but I still want, friendship with other people, that's different and fine. But before you start potentially even thinking about talking to them in that way, so before you even develop necessarily feelings, or, sometimes you can't control if the feelings come, but like if you're talking to them and you maybe notice something is starting to be felt, before you tell that to the person that you're potentially feeling things for, that would maybe be talk to your friend first, or at least evaluating yourself if there's a conversation that needs to be had there. Because for me, I would not even think about it. If this person really hurt my friend that way. If it was like a friend that like I only see them like once a year, like we're not even that close, it could be different. But if this is like someone really close to you, even if you still want to be friends with this other person, taking it there, I think you're more responsible to talk to your friend than you are for the other person if you're really close to this friend. Because I think friendship is, you shouldn't be with somebody that makes it to where you can't be with other people. I mean, there can be situations, of course, but like I think you should put your friendship first if the relationship with your friend is like a good one and whatnot. I've been in situations though where in the past, I was a lot younger, where I had an ex. I was completely over them, and my friend started to get feelings for them. And I was like, yeah, go for it, because we were like 14. But like, but I hadn't been with that person for so long. I had a new boyfriend. And honestly, I did feel in a good place where I was over them. So they did date. And it didn't turn out very well for them, but it actually didn't affect me. And I have exes now that I'm actually okay with. And like, if they were to date somebody I knew or something, it wouldn't bother me. But I do also have exes that like, if somebody that I knew was with them, I would be like, oh God, I'm hurting. So it really can depend on how close you are to the friends and where you are with it. But yeah, I think in most situations I would say it's not okay, but I think there can be situations where it is if you're honest.
Yeah, exactly. Just talking about it, because like it's just gonna be one of those situations where like it's just be a bunch of anger. I mean, hell, you could probably just be like, all right, dude, I just don't appreciate it. Because again, like I don't know, like maybe she, like, I don't know the situation. Did she dump the guy because it just wasn't working out? She dumped the guy because of this. Like it depends on how the dumping happens. Like if it was like,
especially if it's fresh, like if it's been a few years or whatever, like that's one thing. But
yeah,
like
if it's been a
fresh
few years.
thing, and if it's like your close friend and you probably know the details, then you probably know like, hey, I shouldn't touch that. Like, and that's kind of, I think we're pretty much in agreement there.
Yeah, we are in agreements here. So on to the second part of this question. Bonus, if you and a friend both like someone, but she only likes one of you back, do you sacrifice your friendship or your heart? All right, so I have actually seen this and been in this scenario quite a few times in my life, so I can give like a pretty good perspective on this. Now, there was like a time, actually a couple years back, where there was this girl who I thought was just, cute, but like I wasn't like super into her. But like one of my friends was like crushing hard on her, and then my other friend was like crushing hard on too. And like no, she like was attracted to me, but I didn't do anything because I knew what my friend thought of her. Like my friend had a big crush on her, and even though I could have hooked up with her, I didn't, because I knew how he felt. Now there are times it's like different, like where it's like like for instance, here's a big one. There was this time when I was trying to help a friend out with this girl who I knew he had a crush on, and like, so I'm like, this is something I'm very proud of. I'm like the ultimate wingman. If two people want to be with each other, like I've gotten guys together, I've gotten girls together, I've gotten guys and girls together. I know if a girl likes a guy, I can help. I am the ultimate fucking wingman. If you need someone to get your back, I am that person. Like I will play, like I'm able to just get the situation and get you two alone together, and you guys will get to know each other. So like, there was this one situation where this person really like had a crush on this other person, and so I was just talking them up, like saying like, oh dude, get alone with them, like, just like there, and I was getting them alone together, and they were like, talking, and then it was just like he like he was pretty much like, she was like, okay, yeah, do you want to do something? And he was just like, like I was just like, dude,
Yeah.
are you not comfortable with this? Because like, if you want, you can just take it another day or something like that. But it's just like, I just like she was just like, he was trying to just like, I think he was into her, but he wasn't like making a move when it was like the go ahead. Like I was like confirming, this is what you want, right? This is what this person wants. It's just like whatever. And so like he acted very whatever on it. Like I was just like, so like you're not interested in this, like you don't want a relationship. And he's just like, I'm not sure. Then I was like, okay, fine then. And so like that girl and me started talking, and then we had relations that night. And it was just like the next day it was sort of like, dude, and I was like, what are you talking about? Like, you told me, you specifically gave me the thing that said you weren't interested in like dating a relationship. Like if you had said, hey bro, I'll talk to her later, like later on, that I would have been like, okay, yeah, I'm backing off completely, fine, whatever. But it's like, since he was like, oh, like I'm not interested in dating or hooking up or anything like that, I was like, okay, fine, man, and so whatever. Like be very clear with your intent, and don't get upset like if something isn't going through, because like that was a situation where I literally looked befuddled. Like, you told me you weren't trying to, and the only reason I did it was because like we were both vibing with each other when you weren't giving her attention. She wanted to go, she wanted you, and you just turned her down. So I was like, okay, fine.
Yes, I actually have a story about an ex where us getting together actually was catalysed by someone that was a friend of theirs talking to me. And so what happened, I'm not naming names, essentially I had met someone and me and him became friends. It's not the ex, this is just like an old friend that we're cool now. But we met and we were talking about like voice acting and stuff, and he asked me on a date, and I was like, I don't think so, even though like he was cool and maybe eventually maybe something could have happened, but he was coming on very strong when we hadn't known each other that long, and I was like, I don't think I want that.
Right.
And then when I said I didn't think I wanted that, you know, I tried to be like, okay, but you know, let's be friends and stuff. Like let's talk about voice acting and do all that cool stuff. And he kind of low key stopped talking to me a little bit, and I was like, what? I thought we were like friends and stuff. Like, is this about that? And he just kind of wouldn't talk to me. So I was like, oh, I guess he doesn't want to be friends. So I was like, oh well. So I meet this other guy, and I didn't know that they were like close friends. Like I knew that they probably knew each other, but I didn't know like how much. But I'm just like, whatever, I guess he doesn't care about me anymore. I wanted to be your friend, but cool. So I start talking to the guy who eventually I got with, and we're just talking as friends and stuff, and eventually some feelings kind of form, and we end up kind of almost getting together. And then the other guy out of the woodworks messages me like, hey, how do you feel about me and stuff? Like, would you want to maybe give us a try? And I'm like, whoa, where did this come from? You never even talked to me for a while. Right. Like, is this because I'm all of a sudden talking to this guy? And so then the guy in question, I tell him about it, and he tells me that the friend reached out to him, even though nothing had happened between me and this other friend. Like, and so me and the other guy end up getting together, and it kind of created like some weird situation between me and the other friend, and then them two, even though again nothing had happened between me and the other guy except that he had asked me out. I kind of said no, but like I'm not sure right now. And yeah, and me and the other guy had like a really good relationship for a while, and eventually me and the friend were able to kind of talk a little more about it. Like we're kind of cool now, but it was definitely kind of a situation for a little bit, even though nothing had really happened. So I definitely feel like in this situation, I was kind of in the middle of something like that in terms of what the guy's asking about. And I think that it's important, as Jordan said before, like making your intentions clear. Like this other guy kind of dropped me and then came after me when he found out that I was talking to the friend, right. Even though I'd made my intentions clear, I felt.
So just stay patient.
Yeah. Don't jump into like the best way to get with somebody is to just treat them like a person, not try to rush them into something. And if something happens, cool. But usually if your intentions are just like, hey, I think you're cool and I want to get to know you as a friend or whatever, and then if something forms, that's kind of the best stuff. And that's what happened with me and that ex. even though the friend in question kind of made some drama around it. It worked out. But I would say that it's okay if you get with somebody, even if the other person liked you, if nothing, really happened there. Like, if that other friend had maybe done stuff, or if something had gone on and there were feelings, like, on both ends and all this stuff, maybe it would be different. But that's not the situation I experienced.
Yeah, because I know, like, if you are, now, again, like, let's make another scenario from this. Like, if you and someone both like someone, or, like, are you, like, competing to get this person to like you or something like that? And then that one of the girls, like, because I know this is just honest fact. Guys do this whether they want to admit it or not. This is, like, sometimes, like, there are girls where they go, like, oh, dude, like, I really like her a lot. Well, I really like her a lot. And, like, freaking Sakura and Ino crap with boy. Like,
oh, yeah.
Boys. Like, guys do that, too. Like, I really like her a lot. Well, I really like her a lot. And then, like, oh, God, I want to tell this story so bad what happened. There was this time at my work where I saw this happen. This person really liked this girl, and this other guy really liked this girl. And so what he did was he got her some food from her favorite restaurant. I forget what it was. I think it was like freaking what was it? What was the food they got her? He got her favorite food, right? And he left it in the fridge with like a note like, hey, I hope you enjoy this, and blah, blah, blah. And they were like, they were friends. It was all casual. Like, they were all friends with each other. But then, like, the other guy found this, and then he took it out and then changed the letter to be him. And he's like, hey, I got this for you, baby. And he was just like, what? No, you didn't. I got this for you. And he was just like, yeah, wow. Yeah, that's what he's trying to say. And then he was just like, yeah, and she's like, oh, this is so sweet, thank you. And the guy's like, yeah, I know. And it's just like, oh, and then it was just like, wow, oh my God.
Manipulative bitch.
I was just like, if I was there, if I would have been there, because he told me about it. And I was just like, oh my God, I would have had your back in a second row and cussed that guy out, because that's wrong. Because it's like, no, I got this for you. I was the one who did. It's just like, yeah. And he's just like, he's just saying this because, whatever happens. But I think you know. And she just looks at the guy who gave it to her, is like, I know the truth. Thank you. And she's just like, oh.
I'm very fortunate that I haven't had a lot of like situations where girls like the same guy as me. I had like the one where like when I was like 14 or so, and it was like a middle school boyfriend kind of thing. Mm-hmm. And that turned out fine, actually. Because I was like, yeah, it's cool. But a lot of the guys I've dated over the years have been kind of long distance, and I've met them at like cons and stuff. It wasn't really based on proximity. It was based on like we met online or whatever, and we would get together. So my friends that were girls like back home and stuff, they didn't really do a lot of the stuff that I did, except maybe they would go to the con, but like they weren't like as involved. And so they didn't meet some of the people that I met. And so there was never really an opportunity for them to like the same guy as me, I guess. Right. And so I was able to kind of avoid that kind of competition stuff. But it was like interesting when it happened to me, like the situation I was talking about earlier, just because I'd never been in like a drama situation like that, which it ended up turning out, I guess fine. But like it can create trouble sometimes, as long as you're honest through it, though. It can be okay. So
I mean, like, again, it's like if you like someone and they just like you and the vibe, and it's just like, dude, just like she likes him over you, it's hard to acknowledge, but sometimes you just gotta go, yep, all right. Like for me, most of my life I've been the Takiao, waiting for my Inko rank, I forgot her name, like whatever, from My Love Story, but like because just like look at your friend and like, so he's so cool, she's probably interested in him, and just like, okay, I'll help them be friends together, even though I liked her. Like this actually has happened so many times. There's like, oh, I like this girl, but she likes my friend. I'm like, okay, well, whatever. Like it's just like you just gotta like grit your teeth, suck it up, not suck it up, but like just go, hey, okay, well, I'll find what I want someday, and that doesn't mean I'm worth any less. Sorry, I have a speech impediment. And you go through it.
Yeah, I guess we kind of answered the question.
yeah, exactly. I'm just telling them, like, all right, so just talk to your friend. Remember, bros before hoes, bro. That's what we do, bro. You're right, bro. There you go.
It can depend, I guess.
Bros before hoes, bro. Don't listen to her. Don't listen to that ginger girl.
Oh my gosh. Or what was another one? Chicks before dicks? Or
no, that's what the girls say. You do your candy shop, whatever. What is it?
Yeah, you right.
Thing? Yeah, okay.
You right.
But anyways, talking about giving brain.
Oh. Let's go to the next one.
Spilling tea with Katy.
Spilling
and
more
Jax.
tea with Katy and Jax.
No, this one should be like a transversing the plains.
Yes, spilling tea with Jax and KT. The plains of. Oh, so anyway, next question. The segue is turning into a chaos. Yes. So this is from Anonymous. It says, "Who thinks as you? Your soul, your brain, or your consciousness?" So we have a weird one here.
I see. Okay, I have an answer, but it's sort of fucked up because it's like, well, it's not really fucked up. It's like, okay, because I feel like I am perpetually an anti-villain, like an anti-hero, anti-villain. Like I'm not a superhero. Like I want to be like All Might or Spider-Man, just like a genuine good person. But I have like this part of me that's like, well, actually, you could crush this right now if you do this, and then this will be why you're on top or something like that. So it's just like I have various like mentalities. So I would say like my brain works differently than my soul. Like for instance, like my brain is the logical cold robot, but my soul is like, oh, you know what? If you donated money to help your friend out here, that would really help them out a lot.
Okay.
Yeah, so like it's different. Like my brain is going, Jordan, this is not like this is not logical. You should be not spending your money on this. You should be doing this right now. You focus on robotic tasks. This is what you should focus on. My soul is like, that person really needs help right now. Come on, that'll be a good thing to do. Come on, you know you're a good person. It's more like my heart, to be honest. Like my heart because my brain is cold, my heart is open. So yeah, that's the best way to put it. I have a cold brain, but my heart and soul is like open. Yeah, they're like more kind. They're the ones that give me the kindness. Like they're the one that was like, oh, Katie's crying, let me go console her instead of like that. And then or my friend needs help, let me donate some money to help her. Like those are the ones. That's my soul talking.
Yeah, I think it can depend a lot on how you define a lot of these terms. So here's me taking a crack at it, having never truly studied philosophy or whatever, but just as being a human. I think a soul is a more metaphorical thing. I don't think it actually physically exists necessarily. I think it's symbolic to represent like your empathy or like the part of you that makes you quote unquote human, however we define that. Like just like when I hear the word only human, like when I hear the word God, for example, I don't think of an actual physical being, or I think of that as like a symbolic word for hope, or like something that people choose to allow into their life because they want to believe in something. And I think that something is hope, because I think hope is correct. I think hope is something that humans need to get by, and they wanted to kind of physically manifest something to represent that. And that's how I view the word God. And so the word soul, I think, goes hand in hand with God. And so I think soul can kind of represent like your empathy or your love or your ability to show compassion. And so I think that can dictate a lot of choices. But like your brain and your consciousness, I think your consciousness is kind of like that quote unquote other human element of like what makes you make decisions. And the brain is the thing that allows you to like function. And so I think there can be a lot of ways to interpret like the question, and that like, do you think you truly have control over yourself, or is it like all predestined, or is it like, or like you're just a meat sack running on a brain, like your brain controls you? And like I think partially yes, like the brain and all that stuff is making the choices for you, but you do have some consciousness that other maybe types of creatures don't have, where it's like you do have control over your actions, but they are still going through like the filter of like your brain and stuff. I'm not a science person, but I'm just kind of trying to explain how I'm kind of viewing the question being asked. And I'm also in the camp of like, it doesn't super matter to me whether or not in this universe and grand scheme of things I have quote unquote control, because either way it's the life that I'm living. So I'm going to do what I can to do what's the best that it seems I can do. And yeah, so I think to try to answer it, who thinks is me? I think the soul is the metaphorical kind of empathy part. The consciousness is what makes me see the decisions I'm making and understand their impact. And the brain is what makes me function, like physically and all that good stuff, and think about things. So I think it's like, it can be a mixture of all those things. but they do make me me. And I think that's for everybody. You have a mixture of all these words that we define as what controls us, and then together they control us and we control them. And that's kind of my answer.
Okay. Cool.
Yeah, I got all spiritual with it.
That's good. Speaking of... Oh, shit, that's the wrong segue.
Oh, did you have any more words on it, though?
Oh, no, that was pretty much me. Like, I feel like my brain is the cold calculating robot of my body, and then my soul is the one
I am the left brain. I am the left brain. I like
evil.
Oreos and pussy.
That song, I haven't heard that in forever.
That song makes me so happy.
Oh, God.
But yeah, I think we both kind of
But talking
put it out
about
there.
Oreos and cookies...
Hey, that's a good segue.
On to the... I know that was slick, right? All right, here's our next question. One gotta go. Cookies, cake, ice cream, or pie? Sweet kimchi.
And
For me, this isn't even a contest. I already know
This
which
is my
one I'm
kind
getting
of
rid
question.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm gonna talk the fuck out of this one.
Oh, yeah, same.
But you say yours first.
All right. Cake is just a food of the gods that just makes me happy every time I have it. Ice cream is a food that like I could not imagine existence without it. Cookies are just delicious little crackers of joy. Not crackers, like I like chewy cookies. Chewy cookies are superior to crunchy cookies. Don't at me.
Oh yeah.
And they're just I love all of those combined. But pie is the one I'm like. I just like, yeah, you can go. Like, bye pie. I'm not interested in you. You go away. Like, just give me the other ones, all right? Because, like, I think it's also because of my allergy to where I can only eat, like, orange, lemons, and limes. Like, pie is just, like, mostly like, oh, it's apple pie, it's cherry pie, it's blueberry pie, all this other stuff, like, pastry stuff. And, what else is there? Sweet potato pie, all this pie. Like pie is... I mean, like, if it's a good pie, like, honestly, like, ice cream pie. Oh, shit, I just realized what I said. But I like those kind of pies. But I don't like just regular pie by itself, though. I like the crust of pie. Oh, actually, that's a lie. I like savory pies. Like, chicken pot pie is fucking good. I like chicken pot pie. I actually just switched my order, but that's not a dessert. All right, so yeah, that doesn't count in this realm. All right, so that's a chicken pot pie. That's savory. That's different.
So yeah, at first I interpreted the question as you could only keep one, but now that I see it's only one,
okay.
Now that it's one's gotta go, that actually helps me a little bit because I was getting nervous.
What was the one you were gonna keep?
I was still trying to debate it in my mind actually. But
that makes it harder. We can do that next.
Yeah, we'll do that one next. But yeah, I think cookies are like amazing anytime. Like I eat so many cookies, and cake I like for special occasions. Like, and whenever I try like wedding cake or whenever I try like cupcakes and stuff, I'm always happy. Ice cream is very cold, and
yes,
and it is yummy on a cold day. But I also like slushies and stuff, but those don't count as ice cream because they're not like milk and smoothies.
That's literally just frozen ice with sugar in it.
Well, smoothies are, I think to make it ice cream, it has to be like a milk, like, so I could see like a smoothie being in like an ice cream category, but like a slushie, I think is different.
No, slushie is not ice cream. Like slushie is literally just like crushed ice with like frozen like sugar put into it.
Yeah,
like, that's all it is. Like,
and then like pie, I love hot pie, I love cold pie. So if one had to go, I think I would actually say ice cream.
Oh wow, we're gonna go now. Me and you are going
because now. I love when I eat ice cream. I love ice cream that has crunchy bits in it. I don't really like a lot of plain ice cream, but one thing I do love is frozen yogurt, and that is not ice cream. And I would gladly give up. Yogurt is different. So I would have frozen
it tastes
yogurt,
the same to me. It literally tastes the same to me.
It can taste the same, but it's not the same structurally.
Oh, this is like the whole thing, like rabbits aren't hares. This is one of those type of deals again.
I don't think that's the same thing, actually, because I think hares is actually a different word for it. But yogurt, frozen yogurt and ice cream are
Does it have milk in it?
Differently.
Does frozen yogurt have milk in it?
Well, yogurt is made from milk.
Yeah, okay, so, and it's cold. It's ice cream. Yes, it's ice cream. I win. Point for Jordan.
Ice cream? Then how come? What's the difference then? Because
it's yogurt. It's healthier. It's got lower fat.
So it's like they make it differently.
Yeah, I mean it's pretty much the same thing. It's just frozen yogurt. like it still is ice cream. Like you get some frozen yogurt and put it in the bowl, and I get you some chocolate ice cream, put it in the bowl. They're both like one of them. They look exactly the same, and you taste it. There's only going to be a minimal taste difference where you go like, right, this is frozen yogurt. This is ice cream.
Would
It's
this mean that I can never have cold milk again, or like?
No, it's just ice cream. Okay, like what are 3 key components of ice cream? It's milk, sugar, being cold, and what's the final part that makes it ice cream? I forget.
Don't know.
But it's like it's got a lower fat. That's why frozen yogurt thing it's got lower fat, but it literally tastes the same.
Yeah. Okay. I guess to be fair, I'll agree.
Yes.
To be fair, but one thing that I will say is I prefer like all of the snacks that I eat the most are like of crunchier, harder, like chocolatey, gooey kind of stuff, like the warm stuff. And like I love ice cream and I love cold, like milky things, but I could go if I could just have a cold treat that's like a fruity slushy thing with no milk or anything, just like ice and like flavoring. I think I could get by with that being my cold treat. Because, like, I love pie and cake and cookies so much. Like, whenever I eat ice cream, I can never just have not a crunchy cookie-filled or whatever ice cream. Like, when I get frozen yogurt, I have to put, like, delicious crunchy things in it. Because I love that cold and crunch feel. And I can get that from a slushie.
So you're saying, I mean, like, the thing is, you just get rid of one of them. But, like, you can add that. Why are you thinking like you can't take away the crunchiness from your ice cream? Like you can still always add it, right?
I'm trying to be fair, and if I can't ever have cookies, for example, then I can't have my cookie ice cream. And when I eat cookie ice cream, I love the cookie part more.
Yeah, like, exactly. But I'm saying like you just said like, all right, I like ice cream, cake, cookies, pie, and I like crunchy ice cream. Well, if you keep cookies, cake, and ice cream, you get to keep the cookies in your ice cream. So it's
That's
just
true,
like.
But I really like pie more than that experience because I love like a warm cobbler or like my grandma's blueberry pie is my favorite dessert.
Okay,
and
well
like,
that makes sense then because it's your favorite dessert then.
Yeah,
right?
yeah. So like pie has too good of a spot. Like whenever I have apple pie, a lot of people like it a la mode with ice cream. I am okay if it doesn't have ice cream. Like just the pie itself is like for me. And if I have whipped cream, ooh baby, that's good. Okay. That's good enough for me. Like I fucking love whipped cream.
I hate whipped cream so much.
Oh my gosh, I hate whipped cream icing. I don't like that. But
I don't know what whipped cream icing is.
It's gross. Don't ever do it.
But I hate whipped cream, so I wouldn't.
Oh my god. Yeah, I know you won't. So yeah, but I love like the bottle where you can like shake it up and you go like in your mouth like
That's so
I love it so much.
That's so nasty to me.
It's so good. Like I just eat it plain. When I was a kid and I would have to take medicine, like when I had a cold or something to help it go down, I would have like a thing of Cool Whip and I would just spoon out Cool Whip with my medicine.
That's so gross.
It was so good. I love
gross.
Sugar, Jordan. I'm fucking addicted to sugar.
That's so nasty.
It's so tasty.
Okay, so if you had to kick 3 but 1, you're keeping pie?
It's because like the pie is my favorite dessert because it's my grandma's pie that she makes, but I really love a good melty chocolate chip cookie. And I eat way more cookies than I do pie. Like the pie is my favorite dessert and I get to eat it on special occasions. But if I could never touch cookies or because like those are like desserts that I can eat regularly. Like I don't like because I don't have pie often.
Right.
So I think I would keep cookies.
Okay.
Because those are more opportunities with those. Because man, a McDonald's chocolate chip cookie. I've tried a few different fast food cookies, and Chick-fil-A especially has shitty cookies. Like I'm gonna say it.
Cookies.
Yeah. Like people say like, oh, their chicken's great and like all this blah blah stuff about Chick-fil-A, but goddamn, their cookies are gross and dry, and McDonald's cookies are better. If Wendys had more cookies, that would make me happy.
All right. Yeah, I only like cookies when they're chewy. So
yeah, I like both. Oh,
I don't like crunchy cookies.
Oh, cookies with icing on them. Cookies with icing.
Oh yeah,
are better
like
than
those
cupcakes.
Freaking ones with the vanilla icing and the sprinkles.
Yes.
Those are so good and they're soft when you bite into them.
Yes.
Those KJ Fields ones. That's what they are. They're so good. Oh, the ones we ate at Dragon Con that I got us.
Yes.
Those slices, those were so good.
So which one would you keep?
Fuck. Don't do this to me. Alright, fine. I keep ice cream cake. There we go. Let's move on. Next question.
Ice cream. No, you can have one.
Ice cream cake is its own thing. So there you go.
This is the same thing as the frozen yogurt.
Five fucking damn it, Katie.
If I had to make sacrifices, you have to make sacrifices.
Right. Ice cream shaped like a cake. Well, that's what Carvel ice cream cake is. It's literally
fair.
just ice cream.
As long as there's no cake in it, you can shape your ice cream how you want.
There's no cookies on it either. Oh, you know what? As long as I can have chocolate chips and ice cream, I'm happy. So yeah, that would be my thing.
That's true.
So chocolate and ice cream, I'm happy. There we go.
Oh man, now I want to.
And I can have chocolate sauce too. Got that chocolate hardening sauce.
That's true.
Yeah, so there we go. That's another thing. So it adds a crunch to it.
A good ice cream cone is really good.
Yeah, so that's my thing. Ice cream for days.
All right. Well, let's segue? Question mark.
Segue. There you go.
Speaking of
like ice cream, that's paranormal. See, we should have did this one next.
Okay. Dang it, you're right.
Yeah, we should have did that one. That would have been perfect.
Yeah, you're right. Okay, but anyway, guys, the next question that I'm sure you're dying to know what it is from Easy, which is a fun name. And they say, do you guys have or know anyone with any paranormal / unexplainable / creepy encounters or situations? I'm in the mood for scary stories. So, yeah, Jordan, do you have any?
No, okay, well, look, let me tell you this. You're probably white, my friend, aren't you? So, because you're the only ones who deal with this shit.
Yes, I'm very white.
Yes,
I'm so pasty.
So, I'm just going to tell you straight up, like, a lot of people in my family have said, like, oh, yeah, we've had tons of paranormal activities. Like, for me, I think my most paranormal activity, well, actually, I'm not going to talk about it because it always freaks me out and then I won't be able to sleep later. But I'll just say, like, I've also had sleep paralysis before, and that feels very paranormal. Like, I had this sleep paralysis where, like, this is before I used to wear my, like, blindfolds to sleep. And I was, like, lying down.
Yeah.
And, like, I opened my eyes, and my body was still asleep. Like, I couldn't move. And so, I started seeing shit in the corner, and, like, what happened was, like, this little girl walked into, like, the room, and I was like, what the fuck? Who are you? And then she just, like, started smiling at me, and then she ran over, and then she jumped on my chest, and then she just stared at me, smiling at me with this big, weird grin, and it was, like, sleep paralysis, and it was, like, the most horrifying thing ever, because I couldn't fucking move, and I was just like, what the fuck? And I was just like, what the heck's going on? And then I finally got able to move again, and it was just like, oh my god, that was horrifying. But I've had, like, friends who, like, would do shit that they weren't supposed to do with, like, various, like, things in houses and stuff like that. Like, I'm just gonna make this honest. I am very paranoid, people. I do not F with this stuff. I don't.
Yeah.
If you use a Ouija board, I no longer exist to you. Do not come to me with your thing. Like, if some monster, you unleash some monster, because I also watch a ton of horror movies too, so I have all these contingency plans planned, and it's just like, I do not want to hear about bloody Candyman Mary or some shit in the mirror or anything like that. No, I don't. Us black people don't even look at haunted houses. We just keep walking. Like, that's what it goes. Like, I do not deal with ghosts, all right? And then there's always this person who's just like, well, I'm a complete skeptic. I don't believe in any of this stuff, and, like, it's just not gonna be completely logical or anything like that. Just, you gotta believe in. No, you're the first one to get it. You're all the first one to get it. Talk about,
well, like, I guess on that note of, like, being a skeptic, I am actually one of those people that I'm like, I don't really believe in that stuff, but I would never disrespect someone that said, like, oh, I believe in this stuff, and I wouldn't, like, bring a Ouija board around being like, why are you scared? Because that's just being an asshole. Like, I'm not gonna disrespect somebody if they, like, believe in that stuff. I mean, maybe, like, to my friends behind their back.
Oh, wow, behind my back? That's good to know, Katy.
No. I'm not. Let me finish. I might say, like, that's interesting that they believe that. And, like, I can think it's funny, but I would never go to someone that believes something differently than me, even if it's out there, unless they're hurting somebody or, like, trying to threaten somebody with it or, like, you know, doing something disrespectful or mean to others. If they're doing that, then that's one thing. But if they're just, like, in their world doing or believing that stuff, that's fine. And I'm not going to say to their face, like, you're dumb, you believe in this stuff. But, like, if they try to, you know, pressure me or, like, do something mean to me or something, then that's, like, one thing. But, like, I think it's okay to, you know, when you're, like, with your close friends, to be like, that is kind of weird that they believe that.
No,
but,
okay,
like,
and then you're all the first ones to
like,
die.
Like flat earthers, for example.
Y'all the first ones to die. Y'all the first. I mean, like, it's just like, well, flat earthers, it doesn't make sense because, like, they don't think other planets are flat. Like, that's stupid.
Like, the thing that makes me scared is people. And so when it comes to, like, for example, if somebody's like, let's go to, like, a house, like, alone, and, like, it's gonna be, like, scary because it's haunted and stuff. If I went there, you know, alone and stuff, like, I would be scared because I don't know if there's people that are gonna come do fucked up shit to me. And, like so
Michael Myers living in the house, like, because he does that.
I mean, that can be an example, I guess. But
you know what? Like, a big one, like the Texas Chainsaw Massacre, because, like, even though that's, like, based on Ed Gein and it's, like, you know, Hollywoodified, and like the first movie looked like a snuff film, like, that could happen in real life. You could, like, run into, like, a family of just crazy cannibal people.
I mean, yeah. Even though the likelihood is small, it's like if I'm in a situation where I'm just alone, or like where a lot of people don't know where I am, etc., it could be like a quote unquote haunted place, and like I'll feel scared because it's just natural to feel fucking scared when I don't know where I am, or if I'm somewhere and there's not a lot of people with me, and like especially if I'm alone anywhere really where it's dark and I don't quite know where I am, that's going to make me scared. So I think those are very realistic fears to have, and people can say like, oh, it's because you think it's haunted. It's like, no, because I think humans can be shitty and scary and you don't know what they're doing. But yeah, when it comes to like haunted stuff, like with Ouija board stuff, my brother growing up was very like, oh, those things, never go near one. And I never did because I never had an opportunity to. Like, if somebody ever brought one out, I'd just be like, oh, okay, you can do that. But I would never bring one if somebody was uncomfortable with that. I would never put someone in a position where they felt unsafe or unsure, even if it's something that I don't necessarily think is scary. If I just do that to make someone uncomfortable, that makes me just an asshole. Like, why would you purposefully be an asshole just to try to prove a point if this point you're proving doesn't even help anything? Like, it doesn't hurt if people want to believe stuff. Like, if they're doing something with that and trying to make other people be scared, or they're trying to hurt people with that, that's one thing. That's when you can go full like, hey, fuck you, don't know. Like, you're full of bullshit. But otherwise, just let people believe what they want. Like, and I'm not going to tell you otherwise. But yeah, because I get super scared at like haunted houses and scary stuff, but that's just because there's people that have like the medical stuff is especially what scares me, because it's real. Like, there's people, torture and all that shit. Like, it's real life shit. It's not ghosts. It's humans being assholes and horrid monsters of people. And not the people in the haunted houses necessarily, but what they're portraying is some real life shit that can happen. And through most of humanity, a lot of the ghost stories and stuff that people come up with is their anxieties of the fear of what somebody might do to them. At least that's what I believe.
Yeah. Well, fucking crazy people. Don't listen to these people who don't believe in this shit, because they're the first ones to get you killed if you go in the situation. So just fucking leave. Don't go in the situation in the beginning.
Yeah, for sure. Like, yeah.
Don't get
if you're going into like some dark woods alone,
Jason will be waiting for you.
There can be some shit that happens. Like, there could be bears. There could be so much fucking shit that can hurt you.
For you.
Yeah, there might be a person out there that's like,
I'm the monster in the story. I'm the person. Like, they're just crazy people take these stories and go like, I am the dragon. I am the creature in the woods, or some shit like that, because they're fucking nuts. Or like sometimes they just go in the woods and the bear eats them. Like, what the hell? Like, there you go. Why do you want to go in the woods at night? Crazy.
Yeah. But yeah, I guess that's kind of... Oh, they kind of wanted like situations or encounters.
I'm not talking about that shit, gal. I promise.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair.
Yeah.
I think when you were talking about like the sleep stuff earlier, I definitely think like our brains can be very interesting.
The mind is a motherfucker.
That show us things. Yeah, that could be, I guess, quote unquote, unexplainable or irrational or paranoid, like all that stuff. So like if people have visions or dreams and all that stuff that like fuck with them, that can be unexplainable at times, and I think the brain can definitely do that to you. So I definitely believe stuff like that, like especially with people that have like maybe insomnia, so like the sleep, the lack of sleep deprivation and stuff can maybe fuck with them. Or like there's other words for it too, where like you see stuff because your brain is like being an asshole to you, and like I think that stuff's very real, and people that suffer through that definitely are going through a lot. and like their fears are very valid because their brain is making them believe that stuff. And so that's one element of it that I think is very real. But like physically it's not like a threat, but like your brain can be an asshole and it can destroy you from the inside.
I agree.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
And so just call Ghostbusters, people. There you go.
Call Ghostbusters.
Make sure to put salt outside your door before the thing.
Yes. Make sure you make a sea bear circle.
Exactly. Speaking of terrible people, or something like that.
Yeah.
This question comes from Caitlin Thomas. And she says, besides being a terrible criminal, you know, just doing horrible things, what is an instant turnoff for being friends with someone? Also, is it super hard? Is it hard or easy to earn your respect? So, yes, that's a good question. Thank you, Caitlin, for that good question.
Yes, thank you, Caitlin. I think I can say one thing that is an instant turnoff for me is when a person exaggerates or lies about very minuscule things in an obvious way.
But Katie, I did beat that dragon. What the fuck are you talking about? I did.
Well, that's different, Jordan, because you're very strong and definitely beat up the dragon. Like,
yes.
Of course, I saw you do it. Like, that's one thing. But if somebody else tried to come and tell me that they beat up that dragon, I'd be like, Jordan beat up that dragon?
Yes, exactly. The liars.
So I have proof. But yeah, that's one thing that kind of gets me. Like, if you get to know somebody and they're very like one-uppy, or
oh, like, you mean like oh yeah, so me and my boyfriend went out to the mall. Oh yeah, well me and my girlfriend went on spa vacations for like 1,000 days, and yeah, it was amazing. And what else did you do?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, and it can depend, because it's okay if you're having a good time in life and you just want to tell people about that. It's okay to have positive experiences and share them, but you can tell when it's like those people that are very like, I need to have control of this situation, and like, and if somebody else is perceived as like better than me, or like, especially there was someone in my life that I worked with that I thought they were pretty cool and we could be friends, but then they started doing some of this shit where I would say like, hey, I sent you the email for this, and they're like, oh no you didn't, and I was like, and like they were very confident about no I didn't, so I start pulling it up and they're like, oh well maybe you did, like, but they're not saying it in like, oh I'm sorry, like, you know, you're probably right. They just, the way they said it, I could tell that they were trying to like put me down, and so I pull it out and I'm like, here it is, and they're like, right, like they did that shit, and I was like, what, why did you even need to do this? Like, you could have just been humble and just been like, oh, I'm sorry, I didn't answer it. Like, that lack of like humility and stuff like that, like situations like that
shit pisses me off.
Yeah, it makes me very not want to be close to you. And like, and I have people in my life that, you know, I haven't 100% cut them out, and they've done tiny shit that I'm like, I don't like this. But, you know, it's about picking your battles. But if I'm meeting a new person and they're doing this shit, it is definitely a signal to me that like, I don't want to let you be as close to me as these other people. And I have people in my life that maybe do those little things, but, you know, I don't tell them my deep dark secrets, and I don't really trust them very well.
Yeah, like for me, I have a lot of things where like instant turn off for being friends with someone is like especially now that I'm older. Like before I was just like friends with everyone. Now I'm just sort of like very picky and choosy, because like for instance, like what Katie was saying, like, oh, if someone just does not acknowledge that they fuck up in a situation, that is the biggest thing to make me just lose all respect for them as a person. Like if you fuck up and you just won't acknowledge like you fucked up, or you blame something else, an outside source, like I've talked about this in depth before, like, you know, people who do something stupid and then it's just like, hey, I'm warning you right now, don't do this, like that is gonna fuck you over. And it just like for instance I think I mentioned this briefly before, but it's like that place, the Heart Attack Grill, right? Where it's like, oh, this place will literally tell you, this food is unhealthy. If you eat here every single day, you will get a heart attack and die. If you eat here every single day, we are telling you this. All right? You hear what we're saying? All right, here you go. Here's your food. And then they go, oh, well, it's not my fault I got fat eating there every day. It's because it's like, no. You chose to eat there every day. They told you this food is unhealthy. And it's just like people who try to like weasel out of situations instead of just like taking self-responsibility. That is such like a weak character trait to me. Or people who do this thing where they talk about other people, and they're always constantly talking about other people, putting them down.
Yes.
I hate that shit
like,
so much.
Because there is a difference between, like, if there's a situation going on and something that's bothering you, and you want to vent that to a close, small circle, that's one thing. But if you seem like the type of person where we don't even know you that well, and you are like, oh, so this person is this, and this person is this, and it's not like, you know, a big, like, situation that, you know, is potentially putting someone in danger. Like, it's one thing to be like, oh, I just want you to know this person has actively, like, physically done this, and, like, you know, I just want you to be safe. Like, there could be situations like that. But if they're just casually and pettily, especially the pettiness of, like, oh my God, they're an asshole with no explanation.
Yeah,
like
why the
like
fuck?
a lot of that stuff, and they just keep going. Yeah, like, yeah,
I hate that shit so much. Like, it's at the point now. Before, I would just sort of be like, yeah, okay. Like, I have like a thing where if like I'm losing interest in the conversation, like my friend actually brought this up. It's just like, yeah, okay, really, wow, huh, okay, yeah, what? No, like I just do that like thing over and over again, like that type of phrasing thing, and it's just like before. Now I'm just like, okay, you're marginalizing this person who's more successful than you.
Especially when you can tell it's not coming from a place of humility. Like, it's not coming from a place of, like, I just wanted to, you know, vent this to you. It's just very, like, I want to have power here, and I
want it to be that way. Why does he have that and I don't have that? Why does she have this and I don't have this? And it's just like, you're talking shit. It's just like, stop being pathetic and actually work on the thing. And it's just like, I will call people out in a second for, like, that. It's just, like, so
because, like,
annoying.
I've been on a set before, actually, with somebody that, like, she was toxic in a lot of ways. And I'm very happy to not be near that person again. But one, totally. But no, but one thing that this person did was very telling of how they, you know, maybe talked about me or, like, other people behind their back, is the way that, like, it was a very entitled and very, like, matter-of-fact way of speaking about people that I didn't even know. Like, she would constantly vent about, like, oh my God, my roommates just don't know their place. Like, my dad owns the fucking complex, so they better be nice to me. Like, she actually straight up said that. Like, it was so, like, Disney villain-esque, and I was like, what? And this was just common. Yeah, and it was just very common practice for her to speak in this way that was almost like a Disney villain wrote it. Like, just very casually and matter of fact of, like, oh my God, this person didn't do this, and it just makes me so fucking mad because they, like, can't. And, like, there would be hypocrisy kind of, like, spittled in with it. Like, if she would do something similar, and when you would say something about it, she would be like, no. Like, she wouldn't be like, oh, really? Like, how? Like, I don't think it's that way, but maybe tell me, like, how. It would be like, no, that's wrong. And, like, they would get very aggressive very quickly. Like, that's something that also is a sign to me. Yeah,
I agree so much with that. I agree. But it's like, to go on to the second part, is it easy or hard to earn my respect? I would actually say it's a bit more difficult. I mean, like, this is my opinion. If you are nice to me as a person and kind to me as a person, and you're not, like, you know, overly clingy or overly, like, trying to, like, impress me or overly trying too hard or something like that, I've just been raised, just be very cordial and polite to people who are cordial and polite to you. That's all it is. If people don't respect you, I'm not going to respect you back. And so, like, it's different in that way. Like, I will, like, you know, be cordial with people. Like, if you really want my respect, then it's just, like, it differentiates for, like, how your character is. Because if you're acting like if you, like, act all polite and cordial to me, but then, like, you're always talking, like, crap about other people and you're acting down and stuff like that, then I won't have respect for you as a person because of that. And, like, you're not gonna give me, I'm just not gonna respect you. If you're like you could be, like, the coolest person there is to me and nice to me, but if you're, like, talking down to other people or just talking about other stuff and, like, or you feel like you're superior to other people or you feel like blah 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 and you're venting to me, I personally do not respect that, and I don't respect that as, like, a character trait. So it's just like, okay, whatever.
I think there are definitely different levels of, like, respect for sure. Because, like, when I first meet people, I tend to default to, like, you know, human decency, respect. Like, I'm gonna treat you like you're just a person out here trying to do your best. And so I always try to default at that level of respect, even if I've heard maybe some things. I mean, depending on what I've heard, like, if there's proof to back it up, like, then there can be ways that I lose that respect, but I would still, treat cordially. But like when I'm meeting new people, especially, I treat everybody like I'm trying to have a positive experience, and I want to treat you like you're a person that I've known and respected, because you are a person worth respecting, especially if, you're just out here doing your best. But there's a different level of respect where it's like I see the actions that you are taking, and I'm getting to see and understand that you're standing by something, or you have principles and values, and when I see those shine through, that's a level of respect that makes me like want to trust you and be closer to you. Like, because trust and respect can be different things. Because there are people that like I can professionally respect what they do, like professionally or like entertainment wise and stuff, but like trust or like as a person, there can be differences there. There can be somebody that I think they're doing a great job at what they're doing, but I may not want to tell them my deepest, darkest secrets. Right. And there can be different levels of that. And so I would say that it's kind of easy to earn my base level respect, and it's hard for me to trust you, maybe, like to a certain degree, but it is easy to lose my respect when there are certain boundaries that you cross. Right. Yeah.
Is it easy to get your respect back though? Like if they go through their like a little redemption arc?
Yeah. It can definitely vary, but yeah, that's my answer.
Yeah. I'm the same way. Just like I don't trust a lot of people. Like I only trust like 15 people, and then like that's it. And then I just like you really have to work for me to like respect you and like to vent and open up to you like that. Like me and Katy have this thing where we like we test each other's ground, where we like like we have like this thing where we say like something, and it's like you jumping over to another cliff and then seeing if the stuff is stable, and you stomp on it. Yeah. Oh yeah, it's stable. Okay, yeah. So me and Katy do that with each other all the time.
Like there have been lots of times where I needed somebody to vent to and stuff, and like Jordan was immediately there for me, and like I could tell him some vulnerable stuff that like I'd only tell like maybe a handful of people, and he would just so respectfully handle it and also give me shit to handle for him. And that's like what friendship is. It's that balance of trust and respect, and being able to be like vulnerable with somebody at a point where you're almost scared of being vulnerable with yourself, but sometimes it takes another person to be able to help you see certain perspectives, or to understand that it's going to be okay. And Jordan's definitely one of those people for me. And it wasn't too hard to earn my respect for Jordan, because like immediately, like when we would just talking,
what day was it that I earned your respect? I gotta know this.
I mean, I think one thing that especially helped was the fact that I felt, even the way you would talk to me and when we first physically met, like that you treated me like a person that you respected. At least I felt respected. Like I never got the vibe like you were trying to get something from me, or that you were like, I never caught any motives, or like it just seemed like you wanted to have a positive experience. Even like from the Twitter conversations to when we first met, like it seemed very, very real. And that's why I was just like, yeah, I can like be with and respect this person. And then it turned like cooler and deeper and stuff, but like that's definitely a catalyst for a lot of stuff when it comes to meeting new people.
Ah, good. So my evil plan works. Fool!
In your hubris!
In your hubris, you gave me all the ammunition I need. Okay. Yeah, I would say the same thing. Yeah, same exact thing.
Yeah. When did I earn your respect?
When we first talked, first of all, I gave you the cordial respect. It was like when we talked, we had our first deep talk over funnel cake. That was that was the bonding respect. Like, cause I gave you the cordial respect of just like, oh yeah, Katy's cool. I like her. She's a cool person. And then like we talked and we opened up, and I was like, I went through that too. Oh, that's interesting. Oh, that's pretty cool. And then that was the first time, and I was like, yeah, you're a cool person.
Especially when, like, it's easy to lose respect when I first meet someone if they try to put where you are or assume that your relationship is something else. Like we've talked about it before about pet peeves, where like somebody comes up and makes like a joke that is like a tier 10 joke when you shouldn't. Exactly. When you should be making like a tier 1
Those
joke.
Damn
like,
black people, am I right? Yeah, Alabamian bitch. Shit like what?
Yeah, like shit like that, or like just assuming a lot. Like there was this one situation where I was on a set, with like this actor guy, and he seemed pretty chill. Like when me and him like had like a conversation, and he added me on Facebook, and I was like, oh hell yeah, like he seems pretty cool. Like that'd be cool to get to know him. And the first and we'd exchanged numbers because he had told me about like a potential opportunity and stuff. So it was very like business, very like cordial. I was feeling like respected and stuff based on that. But the first text message he sends me is like this paragraph about like, hey, so like I think you're really chill, and like I'd love to like network and like get you to see opportunities and stuff, and you should let me take you out to dinner and I'll buy, and like I think you're really like pretty and cute, and like I was just like, whoa, where is this coming from? I have a boyfriend, I've told you this, like whoa. And I just immediately lost respect and did not answer. And he like sent another message. I think so. And like I got like another message like an hour later after not responding, like oh wait, no. In the first message, it was like, let me take you out to dinner, like you're sweet and cute and like all this stuff. And then an hour later is when he said, by the way, like I'll totally like pay for dinner and all this stuff. And I'm like, so you think money is the reason I'm not answering you? Like you like, oh, when somebody tries to pull that stuff, it just made me very quickly lose respect for this person. Like, cause I thought we were having like a conversation here and like building something, and you're trying to take it there. After the conversations we'd had, I was just like, you're assuming a lot about me right now. Like if he would have just been like, hey, I think you're a great person and I wouldn't mind like chatting more about business, etc. Like, but I could tell he was trying to take it there, like so quickly. I was like, whoa, like just overstepping boundaries like that. Like don't do that shit. That's a way for women to lose respect for you guys, and it can work both ways, of course, but at least from my experience, that's how I've quickly lost respect. Like there was like when it comes to like trying to put flirtatious like motivations so early into meeting somebody, like you're making it like that friend that I was talking about the story earlier. Like when we had first started talking for about like a month or so, it was very like professional. They never were doing that stuff, but then slowly they would start sending winky faces, and they would be like, let me take you out. And I was like, whoa, where is this coming from? And it just made me like sad, because it made me feel like I wasn't being respected. Like when you try to push that stuff, like there can be organic ways to make it happen, but like don't
What's
just
an organic way to make it happen from the girl? Yeah, this is good. You can tell them, all right, so now we have Katy Johnson, one attractive woman who's going to give you advice of how to flirt over the phone. So take it away, Katy.
I mean, when it comes to flirting, I was actually reading something recently about like there isn't actually like a way to 100% tell if two just people that you don't know are talking. There's not actually a way to know if they're flirting unless they're doing like super obvious physical stuff. But like I have an interesting relationship with flirting, because flirting is all about empathy and respect. Like, and if you are putting your desires and motivations ahead of theirs, and imposing them upon another person without even considering like what their thoughts are, or assuming what their thoughts are, that's when it is not flirting. That is you being an asshole. And so you need to understand that like when you're talking to someone new, just talk to them like you would talk to any other person. If you happen to find them attractive, cool, keep that to yourself. It's not their business what you think of their bodies or what you think of that kind of stuff. Just treat them like a person, and it's all about like putting kind of the auras out there and just acting cool. And if like feelings and stuff are happening, give it time. Keep talking to them, and if they keep talking to you, you obviously are both interested in each other as people. And eventually, it's not something that you can write out in a formula, but eventually you'll have a feeling as you're talking to this person, the way the tones are, the way that like the conversation is happening. There's not like an exact formula, so I can't say this will be the exact point blank here. But as you're talking, you'll start to note if there's maybe something there. And when you're trying to see if it's there, don't just like send a winky face or be like, go out with me, or like say something that assumes you're already there. Don't put them in a position to where it's like, I like you. right now. Tell me how it is. You can just be like asking simple stuff like, hey, would you maybe want to hang out? Or like, hey, I think you're really cool. Or if you want to say like, hey, I have these feelings after you've, gotten some time to get to know them, maybe you can be very respectful with it and just be like, hey, I think you're a really interesting person and I wouldn't mind maybe getting coffee with you sometime, just us two, if that would be all right. And like, don't put it in a way that's just like, you'd be lucky to go out with me, or I'm so cool and like obviously you like me. Like don't do that kind of stuff. Don't assume. And I think that's the best way I can kind of put it, is like there's can be some thin.
What if they offered you beans?
They offered me beans. That's a different story. I mean, I'll fuck for beans.
I'll go. Hey, I'll love to share my beans with you.
I'm always DTV. I'm down to beans.
Saber told me some guy in the theater was like in the parking lot, and he was just like, "God damn it, spilled my beans everywhere." I don't know. That shit's just
stuck
in my head every day.
But yeah, it's all about respect and empathy, and if you always have those in mind, like.
And then after the while, you can just go up to her and be like, "Hey, little mama, got a mirror in your pants? Because I see myself in them."
Little mama.
Hey, little mama. Oh.
But yeah, speaking of experiences, let's go to our final question.
Okay.
So this was an email sent by someone named Yugi. So I'm suspicious that the king of games is messaging us. It says, Dear Katy and Jordan, I really love how you guys have implemented guests onto the show. You guys literally make my workouts and just downtime super enjoyable with all your talks. My question is, I want to start going to cons. Would you recommend going by yourself or with some friends that also enjoy my interest? And also, could you talk about maybe one of your best con experiences? We touched on con experiences before, I think, but I think it would be interesting to talk about going with a group versus going by yourself. Do you have experience with that, Jordan?
Oh, yeah, I think it's much better to meet people there because, like, I remember I only went to, the first con I ever went to was good old Horse Con back in 2012, and I originally wasn't even going to go. The only reason I went was because my friend was like, hey, we're going to this con. Do you want to go? And I was like, okay, sure, but I made sure my friend came with me because I wasn't going to a con by myself. And so, like, we went there, and, we met a lot of people. We had a lot of fun, and it was cool meeting a bunch of people. Like, I think it is, like, it's weird to go to a con by yourself if you don't know anyone there. Because, like, sure, you can meet, like, a bunch of people, but it's like, you don't want to be one of those people who just, like, you have to form an organic experience where you make sure you're not just like leeching onto a group just because like for instance I know some people go to cons and they're by themselves and they try to go to like hang with people who are groups. Now if you're invited into the group, by all means that's great. Like, hey, you want to come with us, you want to do this, you want to like hang with us for a week, yeah, sure, it's no problem. But if you just like assume and you try to like follow them around everywhere, then that can be a bit like really awkward because it's just like, oh, what are you doing? It's just like, oh, I figured I hang with you guys. Well, it's just like, because it's like, dude, like, well, I don't have any friends here. Can you guys just like, well, go make some friends, dude. I mean, I'm not trying to be rude, but it's just like we are with our clique, and I'm not trying to do that whole popular kids thing. It's just like, no, I like hanging with a certain group of people, certain friends, and just go have fun. Go do this.
And it's not to say that it's impossible to like make your way into those groups, but you can't force your desires onto others. Like if you meet someone and you guys are really cool and you're hitting it off, and if try to find like maybe a subtle way to be like, hey, could I hang out with you? Don't try to force them into a situation that makes them uncomfortable. But if you're just like, hey, I might be doing this thing later, would you guys be interested in doing it, or are you guys doing anything later? If not, it's totally cool. And if they politely in a way respond in a way that makes you think, oh, maybe they don't want to hang, then that's cool. Your goal should just be to have a positive experience. But if they're like, oh yeah, maybe you could come to this thing, like they have to be able to maybe test some waters with you, because if there's like a big group of people, they might not just want like a random person there that they don't know and trust,
like
just
a straggler.
In case. Yeah, maybe because they might want to have their own experiences that they had been planning, and it would be rude to kind of impose upon that, unless of course you were invited or somebody like speaks for you in the group, and that's how a lot of things can work, because nobody wants somebody that's forcing their way into a situation when you don't know them.
Yeah, that is so awkward. That has happened to me in my like group so many times. Like sometimes, like and again, like it's something you always have to test the waters with, because it's like it can, because these people can sometimes turn it against you and make it look bad. Because it's like this one time, it was like me, Saber, Paleo, and all our other group. We were like at a restaurant and we were eating, and these people came in and they were like, hey. Yeah, so what are you doing? It's just like, oh, are you so-and-so? It's like, yeah, like, just, here with my friends talking and having food. And like, oh, that's so great. Can I sit with you guys? And it's just like, guy, we're just really trying to do it. And then, like, I don't, like, they can always turn that around and be like, oh, well, I tried to say, like, hi to them and stuff like that, and they told me to go away. And it's just like, no, we were trying to chill with our friends. And
yeah, like, you're not entitled to these people's time. Like, you can, of course, you can maybe say hi if, they're a public figure. Like, I think it's reasonable expectation to be like, hi, it's nice to meet you. But otherwise, like, they don't owe you their private time. They don't owe you when they're out just existing. Like, nobody owes you that. Yes, like, it's okay to be like, well, without the fans, like,
they do that crap.
But at the same time, people are entitled to human decency and privacy, and they are just people too. It's
like, you hear about that thing with Jessica Negri recently?
Oh my god, I saw her tweeting about somebody showed up to her house.
Weird. Like, that is just not cool. What do people not understand? That no, this is my private time. That's not cool at all. Like, honestly.
Like, if you see somebody out in the wild, it can, it can vary, but just like treat it with empathy and respect and understanding. And like, sometimes there might be situations where maybe you shouldn't say hi. Maybe there's situations where if they look like actually, one thing that I heard a story about was Sydney, the girl that's dating Garnt.
You mean Giguk?
Yeah, Giguk. She
Sid
was
Snap.
telling... Yeah, Sid Snap. She was telling a story in one of her vlogs, so this is like a public story she was telling, about when her and Giguk got together.
And then she started crying.
Yes, yeah. And she apparently was like crying when they were about to go or something.
Are you Giguk?
Yeah. So he was hugging her, like consoling her in tears, and a fan of Giguk comes up and says, "Are you Giguk?" While Sydney is sitting there crying. And she's just like, and he's just like, is this a good time? And he's like, can I get a picture? And Sydney takes the picture while she's crying. And I'm just like, who is this person? Don't be that person. So, yeah, I guess to answer the question.
That's fucked up. I mean, it's wrong. Like, if the situation is wrong, but it's hilarious.
Though. But, like, yeah. But essentially, it's
what's
good
her
to
problem?
go. Yeah, what's her problem? If you're going to the con by yourself, it's important to understand, like, if you're just going by yourself, it's okay to talk to other people. And as long as you make sure not to overstep boundaries or to put them in positions where they feel like, they have to hang out with you or like try to trap or isolate someone. But if, you're just having a conversation and if they seem to indicate, okay, I kind of want to go, just be like, cool. And if you have a positive experience, you have your whole life or your whole con to be friends with somebody. You don't have to, try to force anything to happen. And maybe if you run into them at another panel, you can just be like, hey, and you don't have to necessarily go like sit with them. But if they maybe like wave back and seem to be into it, maybe you could. Like, it can depend. Just don't put people into positions where they feel pressured. Like, be empathetic. But I think it would be better if you could go with at least one person that you know. Because if you're going,
at least.
Yeah, at least one person. Or if you know somebody that's going there that you've met before, like, just be like, hey, I'm also going to this thing. Like, it'd be cool if I ran into you. You don't have to put any pressure of like, let's get dinner or anything, but you could be like, hey, I wouldn't mind saying hi. And they could be like, oh yeah, I'll definitely say hi. Because I've had situations where there's people that have messaged me like, hey, I'm going to be at MomoCon and I would love to see you. And it's not like they're saying, we have to get dinner. You have to give me like all of your time. They're just like, hey, it'd be cool to run into you. So like, I've messaged them back like, oh yeah, it'd be nice to see you too. So then we like had a time where like we run into each other. It's like, hey, I'm in the dealer's room. Do you want to like talk for a sec? Cool. And then maybe we chat for 5 minutes, or maybe it turns into an hour. But especially at cons, because you never know what somebody's like wanting to do with the con. You don't want to make somebody feel like they have to give you or like restrain themselves, especially depending on your relationship with the person. Because cons are a time where like you're going there to enjoy yourself. It's not like a normal outing. And so, but if you're going like with a specific person, maybe you guys can say, oh, let's spend time with each other for this time. But like maybe during this time we can run off by ourselves and maybe meet people or do whatever. And cosplaying is a really good way to meet people, because if you go to photo shoots or see somebody from the same anime, you can go up and be like, hey, I like your costume. I love the show. We're from the same thing. And maybe you can have like a quick conversation. And if they seem like, I kind of, don't want to talk much, just be like, cool. But if they seem to be into it, you guys are kicking it off, and they're not indicating, oh, well, I'm going to go get water, or saying anything that maybe indicates that they want to, something like that, then maybe it can lead somewhere, or at least a positive experience. So the next time you see them, you can be like, hey, I know you. So I think there can be benefits to both, because every con I've gone to, I've had at least one person there, but I've definitely walked around by myself a majority of the time before, just because I enjoy like the atmosphere and seeing the things by myself. But I also enjoy knowing that I have somebody I can go to when I feel like I want to talk or do whatever. And cosplay especially has helped with like randomly meeting people and adding people on Instagram or doing whatever to build for the next time we see each other.
Especially if you're buff, you can get a bunch of girls like that. Like, oh, you're cosplaying Ace.
Hell
You're so high,
yeah.
girl. Oh, you're cosplaying Gray. Oh my God, you're so beefy. I'm your Juvia. Come on, yeah, let's go.
Oh
to
my
room.
gosh.
Fun. Yeah, Well,
But
girls do it too.
Oh my God. Oh, it's true. There can be ways to initiate stuff like that, but just use your empathy. Don't try
Any
to force
Mia
somebody into a
cosplayers, let me
situation.
know.
One actually good experience that I had when I was at Dragon Con, when I was dressed as Wendys, is I had like a bag of salt packets that I would hand out kind of as a meme, and it would create kind of these situations where people would be excited, and people had actually messaged me saying that they saved the salt packet because it made them happy, like to have an interactive costume like that running around.
Oh, so you can go to jail for that.
For giving out salt?
No, because you assaulted someone.
God damn it.
Oh
man.
God.
So there's lots of ways to have fun with it.
Or like when you went up to that one woman and she was like, fresh, never frozen.
Yes!
Like, I don't understand. And you're like,
my
no,
God.
wait, you know,
At
I'm
Anime
Wendy.
Expo, we had a lot of experiences.
Katy looked
There
so
was a lot of fun
confused.
times there.
Oh God, that was funny. Oh man. Oh, that was beautiful. That was
So
great.
I highly recommend cosplay at a con, because that's a great way to be social.
Mm-hmm.
And What,
Especially if
have
it's
any...
creative cosplay, that makes you like so.
Oh, yeah.
Go up, what are you? And it's just like
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. Did you have any good experiences recently?
Recently, besides hooking up,
Hey!
Hey, that's what we go to cons for. It's just an orgy. Oh, what was
Sick, bro.
good experiences at cons. There's so many. Man, I like stopped a mugging at a con. I like fought a furry at a con.
That's
I
true.
got to meet Katy at a con. I got to eat noodles at a con.
Noodles.
And
I love noodles.
yeah, noodles are awesome. What else did I do at a con? I got into dance battles at a con and stripped at a con.
Hell yeah. Oh, you went to that Funimation party.
Oh yeah, the Funimation
was
party
so
where that
sad.
guy fell. Oh yeah, my friend fell over there.
Wish I would have said fuck it and just Ubered there, because I was like nervous because I'd never really Ubered by myself before.
Mm-hmm.
So like Jordan was amazing, and like whenever I needed to like Uber back to the apartment and stuff in LA, he Ubered with me and helped me out there, so he made me feel safe. So
Yeah,
that
just
was very
to make
nice.
sure no one did crazy shit, and it was like Casey.
Yeah.
It was fun.
And like, and he was already at the Funimation party, but I had also had a friend that was there that had invited me, and so I was like wanting to go, but it was like really far from the venue, and the only way to get there was to Uber, but I'd never Ubered by myself, so I was like nervous. So I was like, oh heck.
It was like
so
a 2-minute drive too.
Really? Oh man, then maybe it wasn't that far. Maybe I was just
Yeah.
making
Well,
it
it's
up in
like
my
it
mind.
was weird because it was like I want to say like 2 to 5 minute drive. Like it was once you got in the car, it was like pretty fast to get to the convention center. But like the convention center, I guess walking wise, it was pretty far.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
'cause, like,
I wish I would have gone, but we had fun because we went to the little rave. My friend Jason was at the rave. At the Host
Jason
Hotel.
was awesome.
Yeah,
Oh yeah,
Jason-
when there was when we had that dance party and we won this shirt. That was awesome.
Yeah, Jason,
Also,
for anybody that doesn't know, his name is Jason Wishnov. I highly recommend looking up Iridium Studios on Twitter. He is amazing. And they have they make games and stuff, and he's really neat.
yeah, he's awesome. He was a really cool guy. Oh yeah, I remember at the party, someone I think someone got knocked over. Like what happened with my friend JB. Like I don't know what the hell happened to him. It was interesting. I mean, it's kind of funny now because like he's okay and he's fine. But like what happened to the party was like I remember we were all dancing in the middle and then he just
Yeah.
drops to the floor, and we're like, what was happened? I thought someone hit him, and like I guess he stepped on an ice cube.
Like that. Oh my gosh.
I mean, it's not funny, but like yes.
Yeah, that's like
It's not
one of my only regrets from the from Anime Expos, that I didn't go to that party, because I heard like everybody was there and you were there. We could have like gotten crazy on the dance floor because I bet it was big. So I was like, but the rest of the con was really amazing. Like spending time with Alan, Kira, and Casey, or who I was staying with. That's Kira Buckland and Casey.
Name drop.
Can't remember. Huh?
I said name drop.
Oh no! I was just like gonna say I recommend looking them up if you don't know who they are, although you probably do, because Kira's amazing and Casey is amazing, and Alan's really cool too. Alan had invited me to come up to stay with them, so I could go to the con. And the first 2 days, me and Alan just hung out in Little Tokyo and stuff, and like he took me to see sights and stuff because I hadn't been to Burbank in a while. And then at the con and stuff, we kind of all went off to do our own thing. But it was, like, really cool getting to randomly see people that I hadn't seen in a while, like, being up there. And then when me and Jordan and Kira and a bunch of people went to do karaoke,
that was awesome.
That was the highlight of the trip. Like, go watch Jordan's Anime Expo vlog, and you will see all the shenanigans that we got up to.
It was awesome.
Like, I think I've watched the vlog, like, 2 times since Anime Expo, just because it, like, made me happy remembering that I got to spend all that time with Jordan and stuff.
Yeah.
Because even though I was there, like, with Alan and them, like I said earlier, when I go to cons, sometimes I like to split off and see other people that I might not get to see much, etc. And and when Jordan was there, it was just, like, the highlight, because we just spent so much time running around together. Oh, man, that was so fun.
Right.
Oh, gosh. And then we went to get the Dragon Ball snow cones, and Casey joined us. And then we watched Steven Universe.
Oh, yeah, we did. We watched Steven Universe. That was awesome. We got to watch those, like, in Smash Burger.
Yeah, that was so fun. Oh, man. Those
so
those
good.
were some positive con memories that I have.
Good.
That was one of the best
and then I got
years.
drunk, and then I, like, messaged Katy or something about something. No, that was when I went to go see Broly. And I was in Hollywood. And then I was just, like, drunk. Yeah, I remember. That was good. That was fun.
I think you were at the party or something. You were like, Katy, I'm dancing. And I was like, Jordan, careful.
I'm dancing, Katy. I'm doing
dancing.
the Fortnite thing.
Yeah, you like sent me videos of something.
Yeah, I was just like, Katy, you're great. I missed you, buddy.
I miss you.
That was great. That was so much fun.
Oh my gosh. So yeah, I think that about sums it up.
Yep, it does.
And I think that is a good place to end today's episode.
Yes, it was.
So Jordan, where can they find you?
You can find me on YouTube at Jaxblade, Instagram Jaxblade, Tough Like the Tunes, Jaxblade. You can find Jaxblade Fitness. If you want to email me, jdownsfitness@gmail.com. You can find me on Twitter, like I just said, at Jaxblade Fitness, and Facebook, Jordan Jaxblade Downs. Where can they find you, Connie Crab Day?
Yay! You can find me at KaniDay Official on Twitter and Instagram. You can also find me on Facebook at KaniDay Cosplay. And you can find me on YouTube at KaniDay. I just put a small little song cover up on there, and that was cool. And you can find the Weird Flex But Okay podcast at weirdflexbutokaypodcast@gmail.com, and on Soundcloud, iTunes, and YouTube. And if you know anything about sponsors or would want to do any of that, I'm just putting that energy out there. It'll be like 50 episodes later. We still won't have a
50
sponsor.
episodes
But
later
damn it.
when we're getting good money from the YouTube channels.
Hell yeah, eventually, one day, that would be cool. It could pay for itself. But yeah, if you know anything about that and you're just like, hey, I'd love to sponsor an episode of the Weird Flex But Okay podcast, you can do it, probably. Hell yeah, just send us a message. Or if you just want to email us to say hi or with a question, weirdflexbutokaypodcast@gmail.com, do it. And like, we have a Twitter for the Weird Flex Pod now. It's called Weird Flex Pod. You can follow us on there too for shenanigans. Yes. So yeah, thank you guys for listening. Hope you had a good time today. I had a lot of fun with these stories.
Yeah, I had a lot of fun too.
And we will catch you later days.
Later days. Is that it? Booyah, momentai. Say your catchphrase.
My catchphrase is your catchphrase. Got him.
You right?
You right?
Yeah. The hunter has become the hunted. Yes.
Got it.
All right. Later days.